Yo, shaking. It's your boy again, man. FB, man, coming at you. Vertical talk once again, man. You dig? I got my host, man. Nick, what's shaking?
Yo, everything's good, Frankie. I'm over here feeling positive. I'm feeling large and in charge. I'm moving. I'm shaking. I'm feeling like I'm Jamaican right now, son, with a Ross cleat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Yo, listen, man. Let me chime in real quick, homie. Let me get a man upstairs, man. To whom all glory is due, man. You know what I mean? My praise, my salutes, man, for allowing me to be here with you, with y'all. You dig my listeners, my followers, man, so forth and so on. Let me also, man, give one hell of a salute to the men and the good women, man, that are still languishing inside of those prison walls, man. Keep your faith, man. Keep your struggle alive in the form of going to that little library and doing whatever you got to do, man, to hopefully one day, man, be on this side with me, man, enjoying the fruits of life, man. Thanks again to the Most High. What up, Nick? How your week been?
yo, everything's been smooth, son. You know what I'm saying? I was getting my paper. I be walking the dogs, doing my thing, building with the people.
Walking the
Everything's great
dogs.
for me. You know what I'm saying? I love my dogs, son.
Nah, yeah, literally and figuratively, man. Walking the dog. That's what we doing in life, walking the dogs, man. Whether it's financially, you know what I'm saying, physically, mentally. We walk them dogs, man. Gotta keep them dogs walk, man. You gotta keep that machine oiled. You heard?
Most
Yeah.
definitely. We were supposed to have a snowstorm today. Yo, it's gonna be six
Oh
inches,
man.
8 inches. This shit ain't nothing, Frankie. It's like a little slush on the floor. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
snow up there, boy. It's different. Yo, what is crazy is that down here, man, we even starting to get it, man. Yo, bro, the other day, man, it kind of snowed, man. I ain't gonna front, man. I'm driving, I look on the side of the road, man. I see a reindeer, and he got Tim's on. I'm like, oh shit, you
Ah!
know what I mean? Nah, yo, listen, nah, man, but yo, man, we got a good one for you today, man. You know what I'm saying? Just adds on to, you know what I'm saying, a previous situation, man. So, yo, man, yo, Nick, let's get to it, man. Let's, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
son,
Let's let's,
'cause,
let's clarify some things.
yeah, the internet's actually been buzzing. It's been on fire with this whole Jim Jones situation. It's like the gift
Facts.
keeps on giving. You know what I'm saying? This shit just don't stop, son. Now, I also want to give a shout out to the people's Harlem legend and China Brim because they've been on Son's neck. You know what I'm saying? As far as keeping the content going, providing pieces of information, and just painting a picture and kind of bringing things out from the past, from the dark to the light. Whether you think this is right or wrong, that's for the viewer to break it down, but they definitely present the information and content to make a person sit back and think like, you know what I'm saying? So based
Facts.
off what we did last time, you know what I'm saying, regarding the Mel Matrix joint, he was speaking up for Jimmy, and you know what I'm saying, you had your piece to say, and then prior to that, you speaking on, just where
What
they
it look
do
like.
that at. You know what I'm
What it
saying?
look like? Yeah, exactly. What it look like? What it
Shows, I
what
never
that
seen
look like?
this in my life. And then you gave your own personal experience of how you was caught up in the wiretap. So now I see Son and them came back with more stuff. So now there's a lawyer getting involved, dropping bombshells. You know what I'm saying? Get out the
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
boy.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my,
yeah,
hold
yeah,
that. He ain't
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
And then I seen China had another cat come on the show, I think Manny Brim or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then he was speaking up for Jim, but your boy China wasn't having it. He full pedal to the metal, son. He 100 miles an hour. He wasn't backing down from his stance. So, I want to get into a little bit of that because the dude Manny Brim had his own perspective on why Jim Jones probably was able to skate or maneuver or dip and dive within that situation. But then
Right.
the lawyer comes right back and says, hold up, buddy. Something ain't making
Nah.
sense here.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I want to run things from the top. I want to get back into the wiretap for those that have heard it, haven't heard it, forgot about it, don't remember, whatever the case may be. And then I want to get into breaking down the other clips and,
Or
bring this gumbo
or
pot together.
or still choose to, try to ignore the facts that's within it. You know what I
I mean,
mean?
you can
Like,
do
yeah,
that too.
the
You want to
elephant in
shut
the
the show
room. Yeah,
down,
you know what I mean?
Frankie? You know what
You
I'm
dig?
saying?
Vertical talk, man. This is why this is vertical, man. This is straight. Let's get it, boy.
We could talk about the Knicks getting their ass kicked if you want. You know what I'm
Ah, man. Ah, man.
saying? But let's stay focused. Let's stay on track, and let's get into this wiretap real quick, and then that'll lead and segue into
Let me
everything.
see what you got.
All right, but
I stand tall for everything I believe in, and I always have, no matter what. And I bumped into the best of them. You heard? I've been around this whole world, knocking my same colors. Can't nobody tell me anything. You know how?
oh, hold on. That ain't the wiretap, but damn, Frankie, you ever heard a
That's
boy doing it like that?
Nah, yo, listen, man. Check this out, man. It does. does art imitate life or does life imitate art? You think that's the question, man, for the listeners and for you, Nick. You think
What side of the spectrum are you on, player?
I ain't, like I say, man, there's a difference, man. I learned early, man. You don't talk about yourself. Let others talk about you. You know what I mean? When a person does too much, you know what I'm saying, self-proclaiming, I'm the king of rap, I'm the king of movies, I'm the king of R&B. Usually, man, if the fans ain't say it, I ain't believing it. You dig? Word, you know what I mean? The dude to come into the prison system talking about, yo, I was this, that, and the third in the street, and then one of his men or his co-defendant come in and be like, that nigga was on the block. So, at the end of the day, bro, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
Jimmy, remember
Yeah.
me? I used to buy the White Irish Rose. You used to work in the fucking liquor store in the Bronx. What's up, my brother?
Like what I know, man. I know that from the early stages when, what I'm saying, he was actually, parlaying with one of my good men or whatever the case may be, actually like kind of like living with them and so forth and so on. This is before all this, grandeur or whatever the case may be. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nah, and they never seen that. And I was also there privy to, as other people on platforms when, what I'm saying, my son, Gangsta Lou, man, my dog, you know what I mean? When that whole pressure thing was going on,
Yeah, he's a
you know what I
legend in
mean?
Harlem.
Yeah, facts, you dig? So yeah, man, shout out to my boy Gangsta Lou, man, you know what I mean? And his motherfucking cousin, you know what I mean, Gunner, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I was around for that as well, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was there, man, you know what I mean? I was there with a few different situations, man. You heard? But again, man, this is only about, the clarity and the
Yeah, speaking to the
quality
script. Yeah.
of what we're getting to when it comes to what just doesn't seem right and what I know from my experience not to be right. You know what I'm saying? In ways. So with that being said, man, let's get to what you
Yeah,
got,
let me
bro.
jump into this wiretap real quick, son. All right, boom.
He definitely humiliating Shotty right now, bro.
Well, you got your picture up there next to the post. Nigga. Like when you go to YouTube and World Star, they got his picture next to this shit. Everything he say, they got a split screen with Shotty picture next to this shit. Shit, this shit crazy, son. But he's doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he trying to do. He trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna go run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get shot at pay.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
And he ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
That's what Shotty needs to make sure he do.
Nah, we
tell that nigga that he not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Nigga, Shotty need to expose him. Like,
nah, it's pussy. Never to do. Yeah, they got a TMZ. TMZ want to talk to niggas on Monday. So Shotty like, he want me, Crippy, I think he said.
You don't need to be on no TMZ. Let Shotty be on TMZ.
I'm not gonna get on it, but he wanted me to talk to the nigga and tell the nigga what happened. Like, cause my lap first. You feel me? So he want.
You don't say nothing. You let Shotty handle that shit, bro. You don't say nothing.
So don't say nothing.
Nah, Shotty gotta handle that shit. He get on TMZ. He need to talk his talk. He need to talk his shit. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
And he need to be very, very, very articulate about what he's saying, why he made people think that nigga was a gang member. He needs to let niggas know that he was never a gang member. He was always a money ploy for the gang members. He got to figure it out. But they gonna have to violate Shorty because Shorty on some bullshit. Shorty think he gonna be going to the strip clubs and all that type of shit. Like, Shorty better get on his A game.
Shotty, I already know Shotty. You know that nigga's a demon, homie. You know that nigga live for shit like this, homie. He gonna treat that nigga like how he was blowing Chinese shit up. He gonna be violating that nigga shit up. He don't got nothing to lose no more. This is all he had.
Well, he better get to violating. He better stalk Shorty every move. One of them security better get hit. Something better happen.
Nigga better start marveling, nigga.
He better start doing something. Once he start tearing the security down, ain't no security gonna want that job. He gonna have to stay in the house pretty soon. That's it. That's what happens. Once security get injured, them niggas like, nah, he's too much of a liability. I'm not gonna protect nobody that know that is causing harm to us. No. And that's all these niggas gotta say. One shot, he let niggas know, man, bro, we gonna tear the security up, bro. We not even worried about you, bro. You ain't even. We gonna tear the security up. Once niggas start doing that, the security gonna be like, listen, bro, I ain't in it for this, bro. You gonna have to do this shit on your own time, bro.
You can't. The security out in New York can't run around with fire on them, right?
Nah, them niggas, or unless they ex-police, but it don't matter at that time because they doing an illegal job. You dig? And it don't matter because if shot ain't run down on them, they can't pull their gun out to shoot nobody unless a gun is pulled out.
Hold on. I know you got a lot to say, Frankie, but I just want to say something real quick before you get into your joint. To me, it sounds like Mel is listening, or I should say, if I don't know who these guys were, it sounds like a worker listening to the boss. And then when the boss tells you, I don't care if they ex-NYPD, still get at them. Are you kidding me right now, Frankie?
Yo, check this out.
NYPD will blow your ass down, boy. This shit is crazy. Pick it up, Frankie.
Check this out, bro. Because I was just sitting here while I'm listening to it, and I'm gonna say it with all honesty. Even the first time when you brought this to me, I didn't really know. I heard the key components, and it was like, oh, come on, man, this is crazy. This is outlandish. But just hearing this again and seeing how he clarified certain things, he said specific things, and he reiterated those same things, is like, yo, that just throws me even much more like, yo, this is bananas. Ain't no way you gonna tell me that your boy, you ain't cuffed up. And this ain't what I want for no, but I'm just saying, bro,
not at all.
this
It's
is what it is.
reality.
Like, yo, bro, like when you dealing with the signs of the times of now, man, and like individuals like us that played that street life, man, to the degree that we played it, come on, son, like that's a flag on play. That's unfair to the rest of us. The rest of us is like, hold on, how the fuck did I get 132 months? Or how the fuck did I get a life sentence? Or how the fuck did I get this, that, and the third? And I didn't even do that. Or I did do that. I got this. So how the fuck did he just not get anything?
Well, the thing is, too, he's threatening security. He's threatening
exactly
police,
multiple. Exactly.
The
This is
person
what I
they're
mean.
investigating.
Man,
I
talk
see you
about
give
it.
him a pass on the 6ix9ine shit. What are you talking about? Go over there, violate NYPD. What type of mission you
Talk about it,
boy?
Yeah, talk about it. But yo, bro, like I said, man, you know, yo, bro, vertically, man, I speak from experience, bro. So I know that I ain't seen nothing, and I've seen in the 8 years that I languished in them Fed pens, man, I've seen people get twisted for less than that. And I say this: if that boy was to walk into the pen, or let's just say, you know, like let's just say hypothetically, people that right now you had a room of dudes for the pins that see that on a wiretap that know that they've all been through that situation. Yo, word above it, man, that honorably did their time, stood 10 toes down with them. Yo, boy, you getting up out that room. You ain't even got a seat in the room. You understand what I'm saying? Like, dudes see this and like, yo, you coming to give it, but you didn't get snatched up for anything that you said, blatantly said. You like reiterated, clarified it, coached the play. You called the audible. There's something else you said that was kind of like stood out to me. Like it's like my son Melly, man. Like Melly, like listening to Melly when Melly came in. Melly came in on the 4 billion. You know what I mean? Like Melly is one of the first. You know what I'm saying? Adolescents that you know what I'm saying got it. So to really be like, you know what I mean? Like, and don't get it twisted. You got some dudes that are ahead of their game, or ahead of their age, their years of being on the earth. That, you know what I'm saying? I can see other people listening, but I'm like, yo, boy, you was in this situation way before boy was. So how is it that you dig what I'm saying? This reverence that you have, or this, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't match. It doesn't match. It don't add up. That don't add up. But again, like I say, boy, you know what I know of my son. You know he stood 10 toes. You know what I mean? He never did anything for his integrity to be questioned. But that's something like, my nigga, you supposed to like at anything. You leading that boy. You know, even when I was around, you dig what I'm saying? I never seen that play that he was dictating the moves. I always, you know what I mean? Like I say, come through. I've come through the style. See my boy Melly, even when certain bad things was happening. You do, yo, what up, boy? Yo, ooh. I would have never thought that, you know what I'm saying? You looking at him like he's over you, as opposed to it being how it's supposed to be. Just like the boy Takashi should have been under them. It's like, yeah, he was under you. So now it just give me a different mix that he's saying that. That's the big, like, how that happened. You know, but hey, that's another situation that
Yeah, for
I
another
thoroughly don't
time, right?
understand. But that's yeah, that's something. That's something, boy. Yeah. But that's it, boy.
So now he doesn't get caught up for any of these threats. None of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nada, papa.
So now, you know what I'm saying? You got the lawyer who China went and hit up explaining maybe why these things are going and looking the way they're looking. Allegedly, just putting it out there, just speculation or just painting a picture.
Man, let's get to that. Let's get to that. Let the
The
people get
average
that.
individual that did this will be or And
let's get to that. Let the people decide.
So let's hit him with a boomerang right now. Let's go.
There we go. Do that.
Everyone has heard the tapes, the wiretaps, and you guys all wonder, okay, well, why isn't this guy a part of an indictment? Or why hasn't this guy been picked up, whatnot? So I will say this, right? Again, not focusing purely on Jimmy Jones, but I'm going to say this. Just imagine this. Imagine you are, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and you have an informant. And your informant is actually working, let's say, 5 cases.
Okay.
He's working 5 cases. He's working 5 different cases. And although he's working 5 cases, the 6-9 case happens to be one of the cases. So now he's working the cases. And then next thing you know, you as the sworn FBI agent, you guys get a call where you see that your target / informant, the guy 6-9, is in jeopardy. You guys intercept the wiretap call where the guy's in jeopardy. So you guys can't let that case just linger on. You can't let the 6-9 guy just stay out because he's in jeopardy. So God forbid if something happens to him and he perishes and, it comes to fruition that you guys heard this tape, you guys knew that he was in danger on the wiretap and you didn't take him off the street, then you're going to be held accountable for that.
Wow.
Exactly. So what happens is, let's say they weren't actually ready to bring the 6-9 case to a closing. But when they heard those adamant threats over the phone, they had to bring him off the street. So they sweep him up.
So they had to pick 6-9 up regardless due to the fact he was being threatened. That's what you said.
Exactly. They had to because, they couldn't run the risk of, his co-defendants, his partners, hurting him. They just couldn't run that risk because then they would be held responsible.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
But moving forward, now let's say, for instance, your informant that's working on 5 cases or 6 cases or whatever the case may be. Now, you're not going to expose that informant. Let's say, for instance, the 5 cases happen to be just bigger than the 1 case. Well, you're not going to put that informant's name in paperwork. You're not going to expose that informant because then you run the risk of jeopardizing the other 5 cases that the informant is working on.
Wow.
So now you have to take your chances. You have to roll the dice.
So basically you saying they will not put Jim Jones' name in any paperwork in this case? That's the reason he doesn't have anything no type of involvement in it?
What I'm saying is that that's a possibility. Like I said, what I'm saying is with any informant, like I said, not focusing on the Jimmy Jones guy, but any informant, let's say an informant is working on 6 cases and they're not ready to bring the 6 cases up for, prosecution, up for indictment, but they hear a threat on one of the caseloads and now they have to bring that case in.
Wow.
Right? So they're not going to expose the informant because if they expose the informant, they run the risk of jeopardizing the other 5 cases that the informant could be working on. Now, suppose the other 5 cases are a little bit more in depth, a little bit more bigger than the 1 case that has been already, jeopardized, that they had to pull the targets off the street because they're being threatened. you're not gonna expose your other 4 or 5 cases. So you're not gonna expose your guy. You're not going to put his name in paperwork. You're not gonna see him anywhere because this guy could potentially still be working.
Whoo!
So
That's crazy.
Once you expose a guy, he's no longer good to you.
Franky, that's some diabolical shit, homie.
No, that's vertical shit. That's vertical shit. And again, you know what I mean? As I said previously, it's along the lines of what I stated maybe 2 weeks ago. You dig? I've been conveying this. When you are dependent on who you are and your value to those people, it's just the Eagles, some like to say Phoebe, some like to say Alphabet Boys. Depending on who you are, depends on how much protection you may or may not get if you're working, if they have elicited you to work for them and you have signed on that dotted line and, you know, got debriefed or profit or took a profit or whatever the case may be. So again, like I said, man, in my case, it was kind of eerily similar because I was in prison already, you know what I'm saying, doing a bid for a totally unrelated case state-wise. And the situation with my Codies, they were in the street doing what they were doing or whatever the case may be in the forms of, you know what I'm saying, whether they were robberies or home invasions or whatever. So like that lawyer just clarified, once that potential, that threat over those lines that he had to be violated came into play, you heard what he said. As I said, in
They're
my
going to be
case,
held accountable, and they got to move on that.
they got to move on that, because if it ever comes into play that they knew about it, oh man.
Well,
it's
for
crazy.
example, with the Whitey Bulger guy, they didn't know he was
Right.
doing all these murders. His friend, childhood friend, or the nigga that looked up to him, but
Right.
they gave him a pass on everything. They were like, just keep snitching. He was snitching, making shit up for whatever it was, giving them bad information. But when they started finding out about all the murders and it, then
Right.
they had to say, yo, hold on. Son,
Yeah.
son
Gotta
is too
get
out
you.
of control.
Got to get you. And then,
Yeah.
now listen, now, even that to this day is being, you know, like, you know, pushed in a crazy way because he was in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. And a lot of people say or believe that he was set up by the system because he should have never went to Hazleton Penitentiary when he went. When I was leaving the pen, he was actually the plane that I got on, he got off of going to the pen that I had just left in order to go to an FCI. And while I'm in Oklahoma, maybe a day later, or was it 2 days later, you know what I'm saying, it comes over the memo, one of the homies come and say, yo, but bro, you know, they just killed that dude, Whitey Bulger, in Hazleton. And I'm like, oh, sweat. You know what I mean? I just left this spot. But just prior to that, another person that just got murdered. So again, man, what this was going for is for those individuals, man, who got enough sense to realize that's playing a street life right now. You dig what I'm saying? And following individuals that you may not have an inkling of understanding of who you're following, and they can be leading you right down a rabbit hole.
Well, the thing that fucked me up when Melly turned to Son and was like, yo, cause security carry firearms and shit. And I'm just kind of like, you know, like, I'm not in the industry. I know how that works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta have a license. They're gonna be X, N, Y, woo. So it was just like, I'm not saying whatever. It was like, he probably knows that, but it's like Jim was playing such an influential role that it's like if I be like, yo, FB, I know but yo, homie, can you confirm? Like, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like he was looking up to Son more in a different role too. I could see that. You know what I mean?
And you know what that's called, man, in alphabet world, man? That's called leadership role. And you get a 4-point enhancement for that. You dig? You dig? I know this to be actual factual because I received these enhancements. You dig? So when dissecting the ingredients of this a wiretap, I'm seeing so many different elements that these people whose job it is now, their job is to also catch other people. So if you're usable and you're an asset to, as the lawyer was saying, 3 or 4 other cases, which may or may not be individuals that may or may not be around said individual at any given time, you dig? Then guess what? That's going to determine whether or not, as that lawyer said, whether the key investigator what they want to do. And if it seems even that tricky when they take it up to their boss is going to say, nah, shut it down. You got to snatch him. He's no longer no use to us. So, now it's time for us to, we find somebody else, because what they did is they killed themselves with that. And that could bring too much slack to us and the building of Eagles. You know what I mean? To the Justice Department. So yeah, bro, like, I said it before, when you're a co-conspirator or you're a confidential informant, you dig what I'm saying? Depending upon what your role is and how important you are to that particular investigation or other investigations will determine how much room you have to do the thing. You got people on the street right now, bro, that are working. They're selling all the drugs in the world. They're selling all the drugs in the world. They're probably doing all the rock. And you got people that have told me that they said that the people that they was rocking with, or the dude, when they talked to them or whatever the case may be, said, listen, man, they said, man, they just keep the violence to a minimum. No violence. Once the violence, once the violence come in, then it turns into a whole nother ball that they're not trying to have to explain to their higher ups. You dig? But if I have to let you get, we don't care. It's bro, it's something that me and somebody was talking, I think on one of the platforms, and it's like the gun detectives, me and you probably, and the gun detectives back in the days. You dig? When they came around, guess what? You got to have 4 ounces on you. And the first thing they did, I don't give a fuck about that.
Yo, word to my mother, son. No, I was telling you, the D's used to run up on me. And I have now weed on me, son. I'm just re-up or whatever. They be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but listen, on me, it was the white girl. It was Becky. You did. Yeah, they run up and they like, I don't care nothing about that. And for the most part, what they would do is throw right down the sewer.
Metal, baby. They looking for the metal joints.
Yo, listen, man. They jump out their car. They jump out. Once they jump out, pause up. Yeah, I smell metal. And we New York. You dig what I'm saying? So we got our lingo, man. You don't smell nothing but our belt buckles. You dig? Yeah, well, get up on the wall. You go to the fridge, whatever case. Yeah. What you got right here? Yeah, we don't care nothing about that. And if they wanted to be, if they wanted to be the dickhead, they'll take the ounce of coke or whatever you carry that you had.
Word the mother. They're
poured right down. They're poured right down the sewer. You dig? Yo, don't let me see you back around here when I come back through or whatever the case may be.
Yo, so word the mother, keep it official, Frankie, because there's times where they didn't always let niggas that crush all the weed. They even take your Phillies, your cigarettes. They'll stomp. They'll destroy everything you got. Like, the fuck out of here.
Just on some GP. You did. So yeah, bro. Again, man. I definitely agree with the lawyer. He knows what he knows, and when he started speaking about the Eastern District and the Southern District or whatever the case may be, that's legal beagle talk. Yeah. Those are for them people that we work in these districts, the Northern, the Eastern, you know what I mean, and so forth. The Western
I'm starting to look at shit now, Frankie, where I'm just freestyling in my mind. This is Uncle Nick, but I'm looking at the Fetty Wap case because I know Jimmy was out there in Jersey. I'm looking at the Casanova shit now. I'm looking at the Young Thug shit. The lawyer talking about you working 4 or 5 cases.
And let's know. And let's say
allegedly. I'm not doing anything on Jimmy, but my mind is racing now. I'm like, damn, again, it's a lot of Ricos going on, Frankie.
This is how society works, Nick. So guess what? It's not beneath you to now start looking or thinking about the variables. Now,
thank you, Frankie. Uncle Nick is the only one thinking this.
No, but listen, homie. Check this out. For a lot of time in our life, you dig, when we don't know no better, we had those blinders, just like a horse running in that motherfucking derby or on that track. They put them blinders on for a reason, so they're not easily distracted. But what keeps them from easily distracted, guess what? It's like a boxer. If you keep your hands always up in front of your eyes, which is definitely a good practice to do, you have to keep your hands up to protect your chin. However, you also, at points, depending on how you move in that head or whatever, or the situation or the stand, you are blocking your eyesight as well. So you may not see a hit coming from your opponent. So you have to be, versatile in being able to do one or more things at any given time in order to not only, get your mission accomplished, which is to hit your opponent, but also see the hits that your opponent is throwing at you. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're doing. That's what, we're taught in the street, man, keep your head on swivel. You dig? We can't just be looking while we serving or whatever the case may be. When that time was then, or when we go in that store, it wasn't just security that was looking at us for being the shoplifters. We're looking to identify who the security is.
Factual.
Who's the D's in this store right now? Who I gotta watch out for? Who I gotta avoid or evade? You dig?
You
So
might get
yeah,
knocked
boy.
out allegedly.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
dig, homie.
You
So
might get
yeah,
whopped like Big Bull
listen,
say.
man. Like I said, that thing right there, boy. In my opinion, this is my opinion vertically. That right there, totally looks sour. You dig?
Yeah.
And that's coming from experience. They went to the houses, even though they went to my co-defendant's case, my case, they went to the house and started pulling out the victims. They weren't even victims yet. They were just potential victims because they heard on the wiretap with some of my homies saying that they were going to get that when they was going to, you know what I'm saying, get robbed what. And due to previous wiretaps where this had happened prior to them being able to get there, you dig? They now took the initiative to say, yo, nah, we got to go get this person out
Now
this
we
house.
shutting this shit down. Yeah.
We gotta go get this person out this house. We're not gonna shut the investigation down. The investigation's still ongoing, but we're gonna go let this dude that Joe. We got these dudes that's coming for you. We know this. They might even let them hear the wiretap. This is your address. This is how we know about your address. This is how we know that you're selling this or you're doing that. These dudes is coming to get you. They already did this previously to a couple of other people that they got. This person was shot. This person was blah blah blah. Whoa. We don't want this to happen to you. However, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna get you out of here. We don't care nothing about what you have. You're not gonna arrest it or whatever the case may be. We're going to need you in the future, possibly, to get on that stand, to cooperate, to say, exactly. You dig what I'm saying? Now, again, I said, I was in prison, had nothing. This comes out later on in time. However, I still had to take 132 months because at the end of the day, I wasn't going to play with them, understanding what I understood about them, even after I realized that they took me out. They dropped the conspiracy to commit murder, which they thought was me on a wiretap, given an order, the same as this situation that we're talking about now, given an order for somebody to be dealt with. You dig? However, it wasn't to the extreme that they thought, but they were just going off of what they had previously heard on other wiretaps. They equated the two with the one. They equated the two things together. They said, yo, if when they went to the confidential informants and the confidential informants, yo, that's such and such. He the biggest one. Don't nothing get done. Where's he at? Yo, he's in prison. He's in what? Oh, we just heard them say somebody got to get shot. And if he's in prison, that means they got a gun in prison. That blew my case all the way to the roof. They like, so they got with the director of prisons. Yo, we believe we got reasonable belief to believe that there's gonna be that people have a gun in your prison and there's somebody that's gonna potentially get killed.
That's crazy.
That's how my case went. That's what it's brought. So as time went on, and they found out because of wiretaps, by the time it's the discovery, they started something new in the feds that they don't give you the paperwork no more because a lot of people were getting twisted by that. So what they started doing is they put it on CDs. They put it on CDs, and when your lawyer comes to see you, he plays it for you, and when he leaves, he takes it with him. You dig? It's nothing that you can hold in your possession or more like they was once doing in the feds. All right? So now, when my lawyer's going through this, prior to him even bringing it to me to hear, he's like, because from the initial, I said, yo, listen, man, I don't do that. When he came to me and said they got you on wiretap, I said, yo, listen, man, they don't got me on no wiretap, giving no order. I don't do that. You dig what I'm saying? Point blank, period. He looked at me, said, man, listen, I'm telling you what they say they got. I said, yo, listen, I'm telling you, they don't got me on no wiretap. I don't do that. I don't write no thing on paper. I don't do that. 18 months later, as discovery comes
like
about,
the
guess
old
what?
school Gambinos, nigga.
He came.
That's how they roll.
Back to Mundo. He came and he said, I got to apologize to you. I said, what's up? He says, listen, man, you were right. You weren't on a wiretap. I said, I told you that. So now this is when the trust issue between him and me got kind of tied up from his perspective. You dig, like, damn, you really stand up or whatever the case may be. Like, I thought you was just going to lie to y'all. Boom. But he goes to the U.S. attorney and he says, yo, listen, you got it messed up. And she's like, what you talking about? And the chick that was for me was a chick named Miss Westmoreland or whatever. Said, that's not my client on that wiretap. She said, that's your client. That's him. That's Franky. He said, that's not my client. My client got a very distinguishable New York, and that's not him. Anyway, what I'm getting at is
distinguishable
right
New
there.
York what?
Accent.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Oh, yeah.
Accent.
If you hear us, yeah, we didn't sound a certain way.
No, because the other guy's from New York as well, but his accent and his tone is much softer,
Oh,
much
all right.
laid back. I got that harshness, that aggressiveness.
Yeah.
Exact. And he like, nah, you got it wrong. So now when he says this, I'm saying, oh, well, they can ready to drop this. I'm thinking, as I said prior, this is state. This is in the state. Once the key element that brought you into the conspiracy is dropped, they got to drop everything else. Not with the feds. See, the feds play a different ball game, and that's what further pushes me to say that right there is fishy.
Well,
That's
see, I'm glad.
fishy.
I'm glad that you said that, because now I think that will segue perfectly into this next clip that I got. Yo, China Brim, I got to shout out Son and Harlem Legend again, man. They co-host, they part co-host or something to the show, because they got the content over there right now, son. And
Big
you got a
shots.
beautiful thing, because you know how to react and you've been through all this stuff, so you could break it down. But there was a kid, Manny Brim, or not a kid, pardon me, that's the way I talk, but a dude,
Okay.
Manny Brim. He came through. I guess him and Harlem was locked up. Not Harlem. Him and China was locked up, and he wanted to come up there and defend Jimmy, because I guess he's saying that he knows people in the feds, and his little brother's girlfriend was in a similar situation where she was on a wiretap XYZ. I'm gonna play the joint for you, and then we could come on back and you can see maybe if there is a different perspective, if you jacking that or not. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Let's get it.
All right.
Jim Jones is a alleged rat. I don't know why y'all backing him up for. That's it. So however you feel, he was on wiretap. He was on the wire phone. Mel Matrix, only reason he said that, respectfully, the only reason Melly said that is because he paying them.
So he paid.
That's it.
Yeah.
I never in my life seen a nigga on the wiretap giving orders and nothing happened. Come on, man. You my nigga. What's wrong with you? Just keep it 100, homie.
Listen, I just explained to you my brother's baby mother.
Listen, what happened to the gun case in Atlanta? Since you want to be his secretary, his lawyer, what happened to Jim Jones' gun case in Atlanta? Let's get to that.
It got dismissed. It got thrown out.
How it got
It's
thrown out?
It's called constructive possession. It's called constructive possession. It's called constructive possession. Out there, the laws is different out there.
You better than Johnny Cochran, nigga. You better than Johnny Cochran.
Said I did 23 years in prison. I was in the law library. It's a difference. Y'all niggas be up here just talking sometimes. Just because you hear him on audio, right, saying whatever they say he said, right? In the investigation process, the DA and the DEA, right, they pull out the people that they looking for, right? If it was a conspiracy case and he was in the conspiracy of the case, then yeah, his name would have went as a suspect. As a suspect. He would have been a suspect. He's not a suspect. Listen.
Yo, come on, homie.
Listen, I'm telling you facts. Facts. These are facts. My brother, listen, my brother controversy. Listen, brother.
Listen. Who you
know? My brother controversy doing 17 in the feds right now. Listen, his wife. I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, my brother controversy with a K, who was with Brick Squad. He was signed to Brick Squad Monopoly, right? He's doing 17 years right now in the feds. He blew trial. Didn't cop out. He blew trial. He was signed. What that got to do with Jim Jones? Listen to what I'm telling you. His baby mother is in his transcripts. When he's making punches, when they said he was making punches, when they talked about certain activities going on, they got her in his transcripts, knowing it was her. He has a whole conspiracy case. She was like Jim Jones, an individual one. They wasn't focused on her, and he was telling her, "Yo, go do this."
How much Jim Jones paid you?
Man, no, he didn't pay me nothing. Go look up Larry Carpenter.
To tell me that.
Yo, shout out to Son, man. He's passionate about this shit.
Hey, Nick, Facts. Big shout out, man, to 050, the movement, man. China Brim, man. Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Harlem
He's
legend, you
bringing
know what
the
I'm saying?
pain,
Hey,
son.
yo, Chip, man. To my son, Ralph Pup, the Watchtower, all my super track dudes, man. Shout outs. Hey, yo, check this out real quick before I get in now. You know what I mean? Go do this. Like, he said something about his brother's wife being a part of his transcripts or so forth and so on. Okay, cool. I found that interesting because the way he said it, his brother was telling his chick to go do this. Yes, she's a part of the transcript. She's a part, not the transcripts, I'm sorry. She's a part of
Wiretaps.
the wiretaps and so forth and so on. However, what is also a part of it is that your brother is the one that's telling her to go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. Again, what goes up, these people are not, these people are not fools. They know that a lot of times, you dig what I'm saying, when it comes to us as men, you dig what I'm saying? We are the ones that are or have been manipulating these women to do the things that they do. Now, that's a difference. Now, if she was on a wiretap calling the plays that Jen was calling, saying, yo, let's just say hypothetically, she's on that wiretap and she's saying, well, listen, babe, my uncle got two bricks or such and such, and go pick this up. And my uncle said he got 10 pounds or such and such. So, Now she's a part of the whole because you're playing a part of the dynamics of everything that's happening. But if you're on a wiretap in the capacity of the fact that you're his girl and he's telling you to do all this and all that, and you still don't know, because as we were speaking earlier about the variables, we don't know if there's other co-conspirators that's saying, yo, man, Shorty is scared to death of old boy, or we don't know if, you know what I'm saying, whatever may be existing in the background that the Fed's like, we're not interested in her. She's a small fish. She's been to school, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be. This is just giving the benefit of the doubt, as opposed to a difference of a person getting on. And he said something else about a wiretap of not being. Listen, you could be a total innocent. I know innocent individuals, bro. I read up cases where dudes just got, the street nigga came to a person that had no record. Said, listen, man, I'm gonna open up a club, man, but the only thing I can't do is I can't get a liquor license. You dig? I need you to get a liquor license for me, or whatever the case may be. The dude that got the liquor license been a school dude his whole life, never had no record, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, when they come, guess what? You're implicated in it because of the fact of your known association with it. If they want to play that kind of hardball, yes, they will. And they snatch him up knowing that, guess what? He wasn't a part of none of the wiretaps that had to deal with any of the illicit dealings that they were doing, the drugs, whatever, whether it was
And that goes
murders
back
or whatever.
to what I'm thinking, Frankie, where the cops don't do favors for nobody. Cops ain't just gonna be fucking nice to you for no reason.
Not for no reason. Okay, dare that. Not for no reason. So no. Okay, now whether it's something small or something like person, they might say, all right, get out of here. You dig what I'm saying? A nickel
But
bag,
like we
maybe
talking
even a
about the
half
guns
ounce.
earlier.
But when you talk
The
about now, hold
lieutenant
up.
is
Now,
gonna chew you out if you
again.
bring Nick back to the spot with 4 ounces of weed and he's supposed to be out here grabbing hammers. You gonna get violated now. So you can't get. See what I'm saying? But
another thing,
things like that, way different.
Another thing, Nick, is the constructive possession avenue that he tried to go on.
I just pulled up the definition of that. Let's break that down.
Listen, because again, they did say that he was caught with 4 or 5 other individuals when he got
But
caught.
what I want to give people is what a constructive possession is, what it means. Hold
on. I'm trying to better get that out. Constructive possession is to say that, guess what? Anywhere this firearm or a knife or whatever is in the immediate domain that you have access to it. That's like right now, me being who I am, just coming out of prison. If I got in a car, let's say the gun is in the glove compartment, right? And I'm in that car and that glove compartment is not locked and you have the key. That means if I can open up that glove compartment, and it may be for something simple as getting your registration out of it, I have constructive possession of it. I can get to it. You dig? The gun could be under your seat and I'm in the passenger seat. I have whether I know about it or not, they're not gonna, you got to tell that shit to the judge. If they pull that car over and that gun is in a reasonable, at a reasonable point of me having possession of it, then guess what? I get a constructive possession charge. Period. So it goes back to me understanding, okay, cool. I will eradicate that whole getting caught in Atlanta with a gun because you got caught with more than one person. So everybody got charged with the same thing, which they probably fell under the umbrella unless somebody took the weight for it.
I was about to say, somebody might have took the charge and just said, fuck it.
Right. However, you still get charged with constructive because even if they took the weight, if it wasn't caught on their person, on their
Yes.
body, then guess what? Everybody's culpable. We don't know who and what. So guess what? They took the charge, cool. But we're still charging you with constructive possession because we don't know that they're telling the truth. You dig? For whatever reason, maybe it's just the build or what they like to say. The police, they got to meet their quota. They got to get a certain part for whatever they're doing. If they're the
And whatever
traffic
your
cops,
department is, you got to be
right?
rocking with
You
that
got to
shit.
meet that. You got to meet the whatever their quota is for that month or for that year. So depending upon when it is or what it is that. Yeah, but those was like 3 of the points that he tried to speak on, and
I think he did a good job then with you explaining it. That makes sense in Atlanta.
Right, I will go with that. I will go with that Atlanta situation. However, that the point, another point is this: we don't know what's going on right now. You say, Franky, I need you to call my man, and I don't know that your man is doing his 1-2. But when I call your man, for whatever reason, your man may open up a conversation about, hey man, let's just say we're speaking in somewhat codes and these people are listening. So they want to construe that what I'm saying. I might be like, yo, man, I ain't gonna lie. I need, let's say, words that go into the let's say lingo out there. Like when it comes to kid, person might say a brick or whatever the case may be. So I might say, yo, man, I need a brick or I need a pillow, a Becky or whatever the case may be. And
you need a big 8, son.
And let's just say, because maybe this is the wrong analogy, but what I'm trying to get at is that his phone could be tapped. His phone could already be on the plug for what he's doing in street life that I know nothing about. However, when I get on that phone with him and I'm speaking and I'm and whatever verbiage that I may be using, they'll sound like, damn, this shit sounds funny. Or this shit doesn't sound like he might be asking, or they're construing it to be like it's maybe some kind of deal going on that they can't really figure it out now. Boom, I become directly a part of that investigation. Now it will be a straight up officer that may be like, nah, we're ruling this person out. But if they're another thing that people don't know, they look up and they say, oh shit, well, previously he's such and such. So now they start thinking about their career. How could they spice up? How could they season their investigation? Here it is, unbeknownst to me, I done called somebody who has a wiretap on their phone already, but because of who I am previously, when these people are thinking about their career, they're saying, how can I tie this guy in because he's such and such?
Well, check it out, Franky. A man like my man's in him was uptown one day, you know what I'm saying? These came up for whatever reason. He not really a street dude, he's like an art guy and stuff like that. And they like, yo, son, where the weed at? They keep pressing him. Come on, son, stop. And he pointed and
staring.
I was just about to say steering traffic. They locked his ass up, son.
Facts. And it's the same thing.
So now you look at the situation. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
You got cases, man. You got plenty of cases that I've read that I've tried to utilize, you know what I'm saying, that was going along that when I was, fighting to try to get up out of that conspiracy situation, the Johnson cases and so many other cases that I felt may have applied to me or whatever the case may be, but didn't said that says exactly that. You dig?
Once you implement yourself with any type of criminal knowledge of what's going on in this situation is on.
But sometimes again,
the same situation you talking about. He already did big bid, all that. Niggas stop selling crack, doing all that. They chilling, but people know people. So son hit him, yo, all right, I'm gonna put you in touch with my man. They just on the phone saying, just how you just said, this is my man, and this is my man.
You're part of that conspiracy now.
Son had to go sit for 4 years right now. Just for
that's an analogy. When I just said a moment ago that I maybe was to come with the analogy, and that's why I said that's an analogy right there. Hey, yo, boy, something simple. You dig? I know that my uncle does this. I'm not into that. I'm not with it. But guess what? I'll give you his number. I'll give you his number. You go talk to him. You're part of that conspiracy now. You know why? Because you directed. You called the play. They construe that as you called the play. So guess what? You are a part of it now.
Whether it's a big thing, a small thing,
doesn't matter.
Traffic.
You're just another piece because now it goes by the numbers. We just wrapped up. Here it is. We only have 4 people. You dig? Now we got 5. The bigger it looks for the tabloids or for whatever it is that their agenda is pushing. Maybe it's election season or whatever the case may be. You dig? So the same way. Yeah, boy, the same way that we have our way that we think about things on the street level, or we did, or I'm gonna say I did, you did. They think about it from the politically correct arena or their
Yeah,
career
election
arena.
year was a
You dig?
motherfucker. You better
So
fall
yeah,
back.
bro, you're not gonna tell me as again, listen, man, because of the fact, listen to this quote, unquote, because of the fact that right here and now, as I learned in the Federal Bureau of Prisons, there is not actual black and white that stipulates that such and such, such and such did say this, that, and third. And because of that fact, like I got a paper right next to me on the right side of me that says, listen, man, your client cannot get any kind of departures or anything from the government for his lack of cooperation and unwillingness to assist the U.S. government in, you know what I'm saying, their investigation or whatsoever. You dig? So miss me. Whoever want to vote for that individual, do it. Yeah, you could do it. You have that right. But I'm saying from my experiences and me being in that law library, because I've been in that law library, countless hours in that law library, I've been amongst individuals who had much more time than me, who had those same kind of elements existing in their case, if not worse, or if not lesser, and they're sitting where I just left from. So all that about that, people trying to co-sign, listen, man, hear it from me, vertical. That right there, not saying the boy because it's not actual. So for all the individuals that want to be specific, yo, you ain't got no actual paperwork. Listen, man, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a flipping duck. From my experience of paperwork, of reading it, of having to get my own, of having to understand what it is that I'm reading, looking at, of going through a wiretap myself and being a part of a 28-man indictment of conspiracy, that right there, Playboy, if you walked into a room of 10 individuals who just did their situations honorably, all for conspiracy or racketeering, and you came in with that on a wiretap and said, man, I don't like it, but I ain't get picked up, they're going to tell you to get out the room. Yo, you ain't welcome here. Something fishy. You dig? You ain't welcome in this room because you can't explain to individuals who got those same particulars or those same situations and got 132 months of life sentences and so on and so on. And you're sitting here, and the more that you listen to this, you understand how you quarterback this whole play. You would have, what's his name? Drew Brees? You were the Kaepernicks. You were the Cam Newtons. You was the quarterback of the situation that we just heard, especially like you said, even to the point that you even got down to the detailing of explaining the gun procedure or whether or not NYPD.
NYPD, that was
Come
about
on, son.
once you start threatening NYPD.
Come on, son. That's a whole nother level, son. You dig? Anyhow, any kind of government or state employee can be affected by the actions of much less a civilian, but an active gang member. So you got to remember this, bro. Gang members at this point in time are domestic terrorists.
Factual.
They are getting enhancements inside of the Bureau of Prisons for these type of things, bro.
That's what Nipsey Hussle was talking about before he died on the West Coast.
Then, bro.
They hit you with these gang enhancements.
These gang enhancements.
Because you're a gang member, you doing 85 years now.
Right then, bro. You dig? You get caught. You get caught for almost anything right now. And you got that gang a situation under your title, man. STG, you know, ITG or CTG. All these, yo, I know all these acronyms because it was placed on me, bro. You dig? I had to fight going through gang programs and so forth and so on to try to get these situations up off of me. So you're not gonna tell me that an individual as influenced in the rap industry, you dig? My opinion, humbly, respectfully, you dig, are making these kind of plays over a federal wiretap and nothing happens. No, unheard of. You dig? And no, I can't say unheard of because we're hearing of it now. You dig? But the cases that exist, and it's probably other cases.
In the sense that there's no ramification for your situation.
No. You get me? Because there's others. You dig? Like I was saying earlier, you really got people that are employed by the federal government. They could be the average drug dealer that's out on a corner, whatever the case may be. You want to know like how this dude's been out here for 30 years doing the same thing, and he's a boisterous dude or he's flamboyant, and you never get smacked. Like, a person who knows that he's been lower key than him, moved accordingly, probably even had a job. How I get smacked, and this nigga out here, and he in every club. He's on a block 24/7, day and night. You dig? He's doing violent acts as well. But this thing ain't never got a drug charge. He ain't never got picked up for anything. You dig? Like you may not know for a fact, but it becomes suspicious. The dudes that that's on the side like how the fuck we all get smacked? But this dude ain't never got a drug charge, and he's much more flamboyant when it comes to clothes, when it comes to jewelry, when it comes to his party life, when it comes to so many other, facets of that world. It ain't making sense. So dudes start doing what? The smart ones start distancing themselves. You dig? Again, it goes back to what Jay said about behaving respectfully. I don't know. I don't know. Can't say you is, but can't say you ain't. But the rules is I don't know. So rather be safe and play the football move of a stiff arm or juke and get out of the way. But hey, am I wrong for that? No, because I don't know. And why I'd rather be wrong about that situation when there are certain specifics that are being seen or certain little situations that are happening and occurring that I'm not sure about, so I get away in order to preserve myself and those around me. You dig? It's the lesser the greater evil. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong and it all plans out, I could always say I apologize and obey my just due. Yo, man, all this bread is owed to you. I was totally wrong. I could always, but you can't come back from a life sentence. You can't come back from a death experience or whatever the case may be of you dying or whatever. So when it comes to certain individuals just seeing certain things and taking itself out of the equation, we as humans we get upset, we get mad like yo damn son you treated me away. But when you really think about it from a logical perspective, man, and you grow up, you be like, man, I can't be mad at you because you know what, I would have did the same thing. You dig? If it was vice versa, I would have did the same thing. You dig? So yeah, bro, you know what I mean? Now, my thing is with that same individual, if a person was walking up to him right now, let's say it wasn't the person that we're speaking on as far as Jim Jones. If it was a regular street dude from down the block that somebody walked up to him right now and said, yo, boy, they just got your boy on a wiretap. Even me included. Said, yo, you just got your boy on a wiretap down the block. That boy, what's his name? Such and such, such and such. The first thing the average dude, man, you think I'm gonna say 9 out of 10, they're gonna be like, oh, word? That boy is, he fucked up. You dig? He messed up. So yeah, it ain't no getting around that. But now, you got certain individuals that wanna, come to the aid and assistance or something like, yo, boy, I got a question. I gotta look at you funny, boy. I gotta look at you from a real street dude, like homie, if that's where we got it from, street, like, come on, homie, ain't nobody. If it wasn't provided or you didn't have something that you was getting out, there wasn't some kind of incentive there, I believe, then guess what? It'll be just with all the other rats or all the other fucked up individuals. Something ain't right with boy. Boy on a wiretap and he get picked up? Yeah, come on, son. You ain't gonna tell me that. So miss me with that. I ain't trying to hear that.
Well, I got another little clip over here. This is it's a wild card right here. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones and Queens flip. I haven't really overlooked this clip. I haven't broken it down. I mean, I don't know if it's worth jumping into real quick just to see what he's talking about. If it's kind of whack, we can throw it off. But supposedly he's supposed to be addressing certain things.
Man, listen, man. I'm more. Yo, listen. I mean, if it goes along what it is, because at the end of the day, like I say, man, a lot of this is for, like just realizing, like, what I'm saying, and I play my own part, what I'm saying, in the past of, what I'm saying, being who I was, and though I was never to the degree of, not to say that, individuals didn't get, what I'm saying, affected or weren't affected in a negative way, what I'm saying, under my guidance or my tutelage or so forth and so on. You dig what I'm saying? In street life, period. It ain't just have to be gang life, street life, period. You dig what I'm saying? Because I was definitely a street individual for a long part of my life. You dig? But it's just to say that, again, man, is to just make abreast or to wisen up, you know what I'm saying, those that are listening or those who hear about this type of podcast from other people. It's just to say, yo, just be mindful, man. To, you know what I'm saying, the younger brothers and sisters, because they're the next generation that's coming up. You dig what I'm saying? They're gonna be me in 10 years, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna be much older, you know what I mean, such as you or whatever case may be. And just to have an understanding that hopefully if you don't have to go through, you know what I'm saying, the 16 years that I just had to go through and and not even counting the bids prior to that, you dig, half
Yeah.
of my life, you dig, without a question, if not more, has been in some, you know what I'm saying, type of lockup situation
Form
all the
of
way back,
penitentiary
without a
situation.
question, all the way back to Children's Village, you dig, on the group home that I was put in as a wayward child back, you know what I'm saying, when I was like 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, you dig what I'm saying, and only progressed. So yo, man, to those listening, man, listen, man, you got a lot of dudes, and I was guilty of it at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? Utilizing those that were younger than me, those that were more gullible, and more vulnerable to. You know what I'm
Green.
saying? Yeah, they was green. You dig? Know who y'all are following. And as I said, man, a lot of my young brothers and sisters, they got more heart than some of the dudes that they're looking at with all this, you know what I'm saying,
You
braggadocious type
always
of
say it. They'll
wasteland
tell them to do something they ain't never did,
that
and
they
they'll
ain't
go out
doing
and do it.
themselves. You dig? And my thing is, at the end of the day, and this is not promoting, the violence or whatever the case may be. But when you speak to me that come from that street and come from that element for real, and I don't gotta speak about the deeds, as time go on, you're gonna have people that may get on the line that know or any individual that be, yo, bro, I remember yo, listen, I was a force to be reckoned with. It ain't nothing that I'm tooting. You dig? In every place that I went, not just in one place, in every state. So as he so eloquently said, I've been around. You dig? Baltimore gonna call, DC a call, Detroit a call, you dig? Florida a call, North Carolina a call. I've been there, and I really laid my hat down in these places, so to speak. However, what I did not do is that I didn't send anybody or manipulate anybody or call audibles for anybody to do anything that I hadn't already did or was not on the front line with them myself to do. You dig? What I hear missing out of certain of these so-called street individuals, so what do your jacket consist of? You dig? I know what it is to be a predicate cutter. I know what it is to be red ID. I know what it is to be what it is on an island, what it is to be in Hagerstown, Maryland, what it is to be
Shackle.
in MCIJ. I know what it is to you dig, with the mitts. I know what it is. You dig?
Yeah.
So when speaking this, in a sense, for me to be able to, or certain qualities or characteristics to resonate with me, you dig, if you're saying that and it's not to say that all street individuals have to get or do get locked up. I know some good ones who, guess what? They slithered through this shit for 30 years. They got their businesses now. So for salutes for
Yeah, there's dudes that
80%.
they get caught one time.
Facts.
Later on in
But
life, and they gotta sit.
they're the
You know,
minority. They're the
yeah.
minority. You dig? That didn't get caught, and actually they got their businesses right now. They made it through
Well,
it.
no,
I
one
know.
individual I talked to, it drew parallels to what you said when we were on an older show. He said it don't matter if you don't got a prior record. If you get caught doing certain amount of shit, the courts got a minimum for your
Yeah,
ass in the feds. So
yeah.
it don't matter if this is
Mandatory.
your first time. You got caught
Mandatory
with that.
minimum. See,
So
but that's
let's
what the
say
first. But
your
see,
minimum might be 10 to life.
right.
You
But
got to
that
do
no
that.
longer, right now, they struck away that mandatory minimum. That's what we're speaking about on another platform. The First
Yeah.
Step Act and the Second Chance Act, these are the things that have now
Our
been
boy
implemented.
Donald Trump, son.
That's how Trump, they salutes for that. Because a lot of good men that was languishing in prisons, man. Shout out, you always hear me shout out to my man, you know what I mean, Veronza Bowers, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to son.
Mr. Akbar Prey. These are dudes that was in the prison cells for 40 years, 30 years, you dig what I'm saying? And so many others because of the war on drugs and things that was happening back in the 70s or the 60s and so forth, that I've had a pleasure. I can't remember his name, old Italian dude, man, that just came to the last facility that I was in before I left. You dig what I'm saying? Old Italian, good dude, but he was sinister as hell in his day. You dig?
Oh,
He
got you.
was
Yeah.
in his day.
He
You
had
dig?
his heyday.
His heyday was just no different from the Whitey Bulges. They were the hitters. You
Yeah.
dig? Now he's 90 something years old. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know if they even
God
have a
damn.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair and everything, but he was one of the mafia's top dogs. You dig? But what I'm saying is this, man. You got a lot of individuals who are now, just like the brother Chuck, who just got out of jail after 20 something odd years. You dig what I'm saying? Um, that because of the judge now, because of that bond that they once had of the mandatory minimums, that has been, loosened up in the
The
form of the
shackles have
first
been
step back
removed. The restraints aren't there.
to
You
to a
can move
to a
how you want
to
to, in a
to a
sense.
degree, let's say
Yeah.
to a degree, you dig, that has afforded the opportunity to individuals, you dig, like the Tuts, like the Akbar Praise, like the Mr. Veronza Bowers, to now be home with their families and doing the good things that they are doing now in a society or in a community that we once did or we took from. You dig?
Yeah, yeah. Like you always, when we talk privately, sometimes you have a homie. I think Shaquille or something like that. You say, "Yo, son is
Facts.
out there doing the beautiful things on a positive
Hey,
note,
he's
getting the
working.
brothers
He's,
job."
listen, they
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
He's
few of
making
them,
it happen.
my boy Cheese, you dig what I'm saying? Like dudes came home, my boy Satan, it's quite a few of us, man. And to the good men who have come out here, myself included, who have gotten jobs, man, and are now relishing and appreciating not only the opportunity that Allah has given us to be home, but actually seeing that, damn, had I knew this years ago, or had I taken the initiative to do this years ago, I would have never went to prison.
Word to
However,
mother.
because of how we're, what I'm saying, wired back then, and when I say wired, the way that we feel that, that society is against us, there's nothing else for us to do but to go rob, steal, and for lack, kill, and so forth and so on. We gotta hustle in order to get anything. Well, the difference between back then is that we really probably had to do it. It was just such a poverty-stricken time, so much going on at that time that individuals of the 70s and the early 80s, yeah, there wasn't too much for us to do.
Well,
The difference now,
my man
the
used to always tell me, broke people can't see past their pain, so watch out.
absolutely. So like I was saying, but now you got so many different opportunities. Like I never would have thought, what I'm saying, at once upon a time that you would have actual establishments, hiring felons. And I'm talking about good establishments that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
willing to
yeah, yeah,
pay
yeah.
you, that are giving you benefits and so forth. And I came home, bro, and I'm saying this, man. I'm saying this to the young brothers and sisters. It's doable. You got so many people now because of certain liberal lawmakers and certain people who believe in a second chance. And when I say second chance, it doesn't mean literally just because you got a felony, you only have one felony or whatever. I mean a second chance because a second chance is whenever you in your mind and in your heart say, guess what? I'm tired of all that. I'm tired of being in prison. I'm tired of worrying about a person having to send me $1, or much less $100. I'm tired of this person telling me when I could crap, when I can go to a law library, when I can go to commissary. I'm tired. When you get tired of the things that have existed in your life for a point in time, and who knows, everybody gets tired at their own time. Some people never get tired. They like what they're doing. They continue doing. Like I got people that say, "Yo, bro, this is all I know how to do." That's how I thought once upon a time. Yo, so be it. You like it. I love it. But yo, bro, that ain't me now. You dig? So again, for the little brothers and sisters that's listening, man, yo, you got so much more at your disposal, man, when it comes to what you can be, and you can be great, because there's a lot of great things out here existing, especially if at this very point you don't have a felony. Please, man, listen to me, man. You don't want to get that felony. It's not that it's not like it's not no any life after that felony, but you know, I can't say that you will be as blessed and as favored as me. I listened to a gospel song while I was in there, man, and just when I was in it, still going through things, and it's like he saw the best in me, or God. I think it's Marvin Sapp when he say God favored me. He favored me, and up until this point, he's favoring me. So you dig, like I'm one of the individuals that say I know or I believe. I'm not gonna say I know because he's the best to know. I believe I shouldn't be here. I believe that it was things or whatever the case may be in life that I've been unfair about. So listen, it's what it is. You dig? What I am saying is with the opportunity to do and be a better version of myself and to be the best person that I can be, then guess what? I don't just owe that to me. It's not about me. It's about the younger brothers and sisters. It's about my brothers and sisters being able to say, yo, damn, big bro, you know what? It's a blessing to see you in this light now. You know what I mean? Because I thought you was gonna never come out of prison, or at one point in my life, I thought you was gonna be dead. You dig?
Well, no,
So yeah.
I've heard, you know, I do my digging around, and yeah, I hear stories about you sometimes. I'm like, you know, I'm just glad Franky's here, man. You're a crazy motherfucker, man. I'll leave it at that. You didn't fuck around. I'll leave it at that.
And you know, and like I said, man, that's not for me. You know, not like we definitely, man. I'm definitely gonna get a followers because I want my followers to be able to, you know, become, and for lack of better words, no homo, intimate with who I once was. You dig? So I want y'all to understand that this ain't coming from no rah, fake, fabricated. You dig what I'm saying?
No, you're not romanticizing the shit or nothing.
Nah, or I'm not faking.
Real.
No. I'm not faking. I'm not saying that I was something that I wasn't in them streets for real, or that I wasn't in prison for real. You dig? When it came to a point over this last bit, it was even things that I actually let go because I'm like, yo, like I say, my Jet Li, yo, if this was the old FB, I would have already blew you up. I'd have made an example out of you because I know how. You dig? But because I was really on my right and left foot, striving to get to a better place mentally and spiritually, when it came time for certain situations that by the codes of the penitentiary, dudes were supposed to, or I was supposed to react to in a certain way to appease those that are already miserable and may not ever have a shot in the penitentiary. You dig? But I have to also send my blessings to those kind of individuals because a lot of that misery comes with the fact alone of knowing they already got letters and they don't believe, or they may have lost faith, so they don't believe that there's a chance, not knowing that tomorrow or after the inauguration, Trump may say something or do something, or even if he wasn't the president, maybe let's say if another president may get in and may change the whole way that things are currently being ran, and tomorrow you could be out. You dig? So that's why, you know, a person say, yo, bro, why you didn't? And I say, yo, bro, listen, man, it ain't me no more. However, if my hair start to stand up, if I truly start to feel threatened, then that old me, then those canine teeth come out. Then the vampire come out. You dig? But yo, again, God favored me. He blessed me. He saw the best in me. So guess what? He allowed me. He fortified me to mentally be able to assess things for what they was as opposed to what they appear to be, and not to react, you know what I'm saying, prematurely on things.
Born an evil person, Franky, but you learn to maintain the highest standards within the environment you were in for your rap, your people, and what you were doing moving forward. So there God knows that. You hear me?
Yo, listen, we done did enough of that, and guess what? The people just gonna get a piece of FB in the coming platforms that we're gonna be doing. But let's get to this next clip or whatever the case may be that you say you may have that may be pertinent.
Okay, yeah, let's check this out,
and then we blow.
This is a wild card right here. Let's see what son talking about.
Let's let's see what it is. Let's see what it is.
But shout out to the boy Queens Flip. I'll fuck with son.
Come on, man. Stop playing. Don't do this. Don't stop.
About what? What could we have a conversation about? Tell me.
I think he felt like you messed up a deal for him or something like that, or something that he was upset about.
What did he rap? What the f are you talking about? Like, I don't. Let's do. You're going too back far in time, so you know be emotional with shit like that. I don't give a f about none of that. That holds no merit in my life, and never held no merit in my life.
Got it.
You heard? And I got money all my life, and nobody put no money in my pocket at all. Only person ever put money in my pocket was Cam.
Got it.
You heard? The rest of that I got myself, and I took most of it. You seen it?
Saw it.
All right.
But that's what I was talking about, the forgiving thing. You don't move on. But all right, don't breathe. Don't do the heavy breathing. I'm just trying to correlate to your forgiveness, right? Like, you hold on. You could have had a conversation like, that's ain't about nothing. But you just...
It ain't about nothing. That's why I don't got to have a conversation. I don't have to...
Yeah, I got it.
Time is money, bro.
I got it.
Take time out this 50-pack to explain to somebody something about me to make your feelings feel good. I got 3 words that could make your feelings feel good.
Why you letting make a paperwork and you don't say nothing? Why you letting lie on you? That's why I get mad at you. You got a problem, huh? They talk about that gun charge you caught in Atlanta and all that stuff. Why you don't answer these things that you...
What am I talk to simple people about simple?
Why you let them play with you when we...
got real money. I've been making millions of dollars since I've been 20 years of old. You think I don't have high-profile lawyers? What do you think these niggas don't go in the courtroom and knock out the box real quickly before they even stop playing with us? Like, we got real live lawyers.
Don't say nothing.
You heard?
Why you let
I've got lawyer. You heard? When I dial my lawyer number, that is a 30 clip. Just to dial, I'm like, yeah, 30, ching, talk to me. After that, it goes up, ching, 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 ching. You heard? Until they figure out, oh, where you at? All right, we chinged you out right here. That's what we're going to call you about $130 this time. And how many times have you seen me do that? You heard? For me, myself, and
that's a fact.
Anybody else.
That's a fact. I seen it.
In a gang, got bailed out.
That's a fact.
No matter what the cost was.
That's a fact.
Down to the millions.
Do you understand my point, though? You let the people run with this narrative that you some type of, like, when it's not true. Instead of saying, like,
bro, you heard what I said, bro.
You know, it's time. You show the watch, a 50 piece.
Yeah, I ain't got time to. And this, I'm just not. That's not that for that. You heard? Like, that's minute and shit like that. I'm just with you know what I mean? But really, I don't got time on my day to really explain to anybody about anything that ain't making me $1. And nobody pays me. Where I'm from, I kind of cut the checks. You heard? Like, I don't give a on none of that frivolous about what anybody can say about me. You heard? You dig? Bro, these never been through anything real in life. You dig? 9 times out of 10, what people see on the media is all bullshit anyway. And whatever the media puts out is all bullshit. Who am I to combat with any of that, bro? I'm not sitting up here explaining nothing to anybody, Flip. And the truth always comes out, is what my mama told me. I'm not tripping about nothing. I know who I am as a man, and I know what I signed up for. And anything I went into, I went in wholeheartedly knowing what I went into and shit like that. Like, I ain't tripping about nothing. And everybody that got into trouble with, you can all talk to them and see if I held up my end of the bargain. Yeah. You heard? I mean, none of these is dead. They all alive. Like, you dig? Like, anybody I did anything with, they are reachable. Like, they are like, if I didn't held up my side of the bargain, we would have been heard about it.
That's a fact.
We'd have been read about it. We'd have been saw it. They're not hiding anything I do. I'm a public figure. You don't have to go look for that. As soon as I make a mistake or do anything, it's going to be out there as fast as you could. Like, don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah. No, yo,
how that sounding to you? You talking that big time paper, making millions at 20 lawyers?
I ain't gonna front, homie. Like, I ain't gonna front, man. I give props where props is due, homie. Fam definitely know how to, you know what I'm saying, talk, speak. You dig? I give it to him. You dig? Certain things that he made, I definitely agree with the fact of, you dig? Like, cause I'm that way. Like, what the fuck I look like off me? Like, even in a pen, I like to equate it because that's the last 16. Like, dudes talking about, like, listen, what the fuck I look like explaining myself to you? Who are you? You dig? Like, I don't give a fuck about explaining anything to you to appease you or to appease your mans, because you feel that, guess what, the way I didn't react to this situation was a way that y'all would have reacted because y'all are part of this environment, mind, body, and soul now. Me, I'm extracting myself out of this environment, and unless I feel a threat to me or any one of mine, we're not going to react to it. Other than that, so I respect that.
Why react to Cam? Why react to Mace? Why react to everything?
Because, bro, listen, man, because he also said that. He also said that in the point of this, man. The truth needs nothing to stand on. So in a lot of aspects, he says, his mom used to say, what's in the dark will come to light. And it's just like a lot of us men, we know that, guess what? Can't nobody affect us negatively like our women. Their words. They start to talk and they gonna say, it's like, yo, listen.
Yo, word the mother, Frankie. You got a point.
Stop playing with me. You dig? So when, when something has the maybe the remnants or the vestiges of being true, you dig? Like, and it comes from a certain person that knows the truth. Right now, the emotional and the irrational side lashes out before that mindset says, yo, chill, pause. Because now you're just trying to get in front of it or you're trying to attack it. It's like
I'm gonna tell you right now, Frankie, I've never had problems on YouTube, right? But it was this one nigga, I'm not gonna really put him out there like that because it is what it is. But he tried to create some fake narrative about me. You know what I'm saying? And he went and he hit me in the DMs. Yeah, I'm like, whatever, nigga, go do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here. Then I see he putting the joints up. I had to nip that shit in the bud real quick, Frankie. And word to my motherfucking mother, son, because he tried to say some shit about my moms and this and that. It's a long story. I'm not gonna get into it. But because niggas be thinking they see you online and they know you. And then a little dun-dun-dun nigga come from the side and then gas them up because dudes be trolling. And if they know you don't like me, they gonna tell you something crazy because they just want to see everybody going wild. Yo, word to mother Frankie, I ain't let that shit breathe for 24 hours. I ain't let that shit breathe for a week. What you said? I don't care if I know that nigga, we addressing this shit right now. Boom! And guess what, Frankie? I never heard a word from this nigga ever since.
Yo, everything is dope.
You see, right now, they keep playing with Jimmy. They keep all the videos. Now, lawyers is coming out. I want to play that lawyer shit again before we go because we got to give China a motherfucking shout out because that shit was real. If you don't address this shit, you don't break it down, you don't correct it, motherfuckers going to keep coming at you because you act like you don't care. All right, cool. You don't care?
Well, you know, like, yo, listen, bro. Like, you know, in certain aspects, you got to really, you know, like, it's a number of things, man. I learned that phrase, peace be still, man. Sometimes just be still and quiet and allow everything to materialize, you know what I'm saying, first in, you know, your spirit, you know what I'm saying, and your mind and your heart.
Yo, Frankie, fuck all that philosophical kumbaya shit, nigga. Come on.
Why
Now,
I say that?
Why,
I know it. But why I say that? Because I want that to be, you know, something, maybe a little mantra that even, you know, the followers or the listeners, man, can sometimes we just jump head into things. And trust me, man, I was the king jumper, my nigga. You know, shout out to my brother, man. Word up, man. Shout out to my brother World too, man. I'm still in them prison systems. But yeah, bro, like,
I'm gonna quote you on something that'll go right with that courage joint right there. Courage doesn't always roar, Frankie.
Facts.
Sometimes courage is a quiet voice that tells you it's all right. I'm gonna do my best tomorrow.
And that was Mahatma Gandhi. You dig what I'm saying? That was so many others. You know what I'm saying? That was.
I don't like quoting him because he's, man. I like throwing his name out there. But
regardless of what it did,
he's a funny style dude. We'll get into Gandhi one day. We really got to start hitting him with the intellectual. But go ahead.
Absolutely, but again,
Gandhi wasn't a good guy. He ain't even like black people. But let's go.
Yo, listen. See, and that's the thing. You know what? Old Muslim dude one day he told me something, and listen, man, and I use this hard. He said it was the Prophet Muhammad. The Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him. He was walking with two of his, his people, affiliates, or whatever the case may be. And they came upon a mangy dog, and the two people that were with the Prophet Muhammad was saying, "Yo, look, that dog looked mangy. The dog was dead." And so they like, "Oh, mangy dog, nasty, disgusting. They need to clear it up out of the street. What is in the street?" But the Prophet is standing there looking at it, and he comes out, and he says, "Well, what pretty teeth? What white teeth?" I think it was either pretty teeth or white teeth, the dog has. So again, in a lot of instances now, when it's not a person that's placing themselves in certain positions, you try to look for the good in something as opposed to seeing all the bad in something.
Oh, definitely.
And us as humans, it's not definite, Nick, because a lot of us as humans, you and me, I've been guilty of it. No,
I agree with your point moving forward, but that's not what we all do.
Yeah, we don't. The majority of us, you dig? It's just that we consistently, ongoingly, talk about what negative, but you would never think, all right, but how about when that person let you live in a house rent free? How about when that person gave you clothes when you didn't have it? How about when that person, did bail you out or did this, that, or the third? So
how about that day when it was hot as fuck and they gave you a cup of lemonade and let you smoke a cigarette on the stoop and chill?
It's the bittersweet.
That shit meant a lot.
There's no ups without down, twos or fro's. And me being, like we said earlier, using the analogy of a horse with blinders on, I had blinders on for a long period of my life. So with him saying what he said, a lot of it, I can understand it. I agree with it to some degree. What I don't agree with is what you said. Listen, or like Flip said, some things need to be addressed.
Yes.
Period. You dig? Either it's going to do one or two things. It's going to either heighten the fire and maybe you come out and you start faking and you fronting and people could detect that. So now it adds more questions. Or it's going to be like, oh shit, nah, that seemed real. That shit was totally plausible.
And you did that whole shit.
And you did that whole shit. I did. So period. You dig? So when it comes to certain things, bro, again, man, me, vertical talk, bro. Like, constructive criticism is, yo, bro, I accept that. I accept it crazily now. But I also give it, and I give it unapologetically. That's always been me. People be like, yo, F, man, you harsh, man. You be coming up. It's like, nah, I'm not. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just telling you
No,
what
no,
it is.
I think you're a very direct, straightforward person
That's
that
it.
doesn't play games, but also I'm not your mother, nigga. I'm not your daddy. I'm not
There
your
you go.
uncle. I'm
I
not
should
your
be able to
best
tell you. You
friend.
tell me you street, you tell me you official, then the way I talk this shouldn't bother you.
Shouldn't bother
It
you.
shouldn't affect you in a
It
negative
should
way because
actually
that's how
ignite
I
your
learn.
fucking brain
There
and
you go. Damn,
activate
if bro
something in
telling
you.
me that, it's coming from you dig. When my bros tell me, or my big bros tell me, or my uncles or whatever tell me something, I know it's coming from a place of genuine. I'm a street, so they giving it to me from a street aspect. They giving it to me
Vertical talk,
with
son.
because they know. They know that they know me, and that's the only way that I'm gonna take it. Whether I take it right there in front of them or I go outside, and as he said, yo, man, stop with the heavy breathing. I'm breathing heavy as shit when you telling me. But when I go outside and I really start to think about it, it's like, man, you dig? He was right. And I wasn't mad at the fact of it, of the conversation. I was mad at the fact that what? You was right. You called in my car. You dig? So the heavy breathing and all that is because, yo, there's some truth to it, and I really don't want to go into it, or it's kind of like embarrassing, or like you put out, this was going to, you dig? So yeah, bro, like, listen, it is what it is, bro. But again, like I said, I give props to props is due. Definitely, boy, know how to
Jimmy is
speak.
definitely
And
a
listen,
likable guy in certain situations. He definitely,
he
I
can
have to
be.
say,
He
makes
can
good
be.
music because there's songs that I do like from him. He's really become a better rapper. He does his music videos. There's a lot of positive qualities to him where I think he could
Yeah,
really be out here
absolutely.
showing kids how to do videography, showing kids how to get to a bag, showing.
Absolutely.
But he's over
Absolutely.
here still
I
trying to
think
talk
he's too
about.
self-absorbed. I think he's too
Yes.
much into who he is and what he wants to be, as opposed to see that, yo, you got a plethora of things that you could actually be doing that will make you. And
Even the
again,
workout
to be
shit.
fair,
The workout shit is a big shit. You see Met the Man right now? Met the Man got on this workout shit. He about to open a gym. He got his workout merch. He got the fucking the elastic band. He got a bunch of shit going on. And that's just him trying to get in the workout. And it's like Jim do this, Jim do that, Jim do. But it's like Jim always want to fall back on, yo, I'm the big bad blood, and you better not even look at it.
Yeah, listen, my brother,
son.
listen, let me say this. You don't have to act tough to be tough. He did, period. And
Yo, Franky,
listen.
the first time I ever talked to you, you were the nicest guy. Not on no sucker shit. You were just polite. You were mad intelligent.
So what you saying, Nick? Hold up. What you? I'm not nice now. I'm not nice now.
Oh no. No, what I'm saying in comparison.
I need to ask that.
No. What I'm saying is,
yeah.
Like when I started talking to people and digging people's brains, they're like, "No, Franky, you're a beautiful guy, but fuck around it." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like the bros, your real family, everybody that we know. Start, this little fun thing here, and I'm like, damn, man, like this brother has grown so fucking much. Like, cause it's like you could easily you could easily be up here right now. Yo, son, you know what I did in 88 with the whip, in 93, but and you don't do that. You try to really now you don't try, you do get up here. And from when we talk behind the scenes to this and that, even when you the halfway, you have a mission and a road and a path that you want, and I love it and I embrace it. But I definitely believe your change. Like there's people that be out here trying to for the kids. Let me do a little charity. Let me be like, yo, come on, son. Then the next day, yo, boo, yo, I'm the gangster. And it's like, not that you can't be that at times when you fucking around, but which one is it? They always told me the man that chases two rabbits catches none. So you got to pick a side, son, to stay on it.
Yo, bro, like anybody that know me, I tell you, bro, like that nigga, man, like, bro, I'm just me. You dig? Like I said earlier, unapologetically, man. Like in that sense, that's why I go with Jim. I don't care what people think or say or whatever the case may be, because F gonna do him. F has been doing him. F has been a little dude that was in the streets at a real early time in his life due to the circumstances that were that the inner cities that I grew up. Yeah, was plagued in, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, but by the grace of Allah, I had bigger brothers, or I had people that I looked up to that were doing things, and even regardless of what they were doing, they were still giving wisdom to me to not try to be like them, to be better than them, even in the sense of, yo, nigga, go to school, do whatever, whatever, whatever. But that didn't stop, you know what I'm saying, the holes in the bottom of the kids,
Yo, I
or, you
want
know
to
what I'm
give a
saying, the
big shout out to
hand-me-down
Chip
shirts.
Lowe. Chip Lowe always tells me, he said, yo, FB used to be like, yo, get out of here, son. Nah, you're not coming to do, yo, this is how y'all got to go do this. Yo, go read them books. Go out. You know, they're a little younger than you, and you would always be like, nah, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Don't be
showed them
no
both
suckers
parts.
now.
I showed them
But,
both parts. Anybody, you know what I mean? North
yeah.
Carolina, Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Maryland, Rockville, Maryland, all these. Yo, bro, like when I got up with dudes, man, I gave them what my G's gave me. And that's food for thought. You dig? So at the end of the day, and I ran and left a lot of good men. When I was languishing in the Hazeltown, MCIH, Hagerstown, man, you dig? You know, I learned a lot from people from, you know what I'm saying, Maryland and DC, you know, that gave me my first Malcolm X book. And along with that, a
The
dictionary,
go-go music,
because
right? They
he's
do
up
the
there,
go-go
yeah,
down
you
there,
know,
right?
yeah, what's that, Chuck Brown or whatever the case may be, the EUs and so on. But yeah, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And just to know, bro, like it's like they say, it takes a village. You dig? So I want to be part of a village that could be better for somebody else, because I had a lot of participants in the village along the lines, you know what I'm saying? God rest her soul, you know what I'm saying? Miss McIntosh that lived next to me while I was, you know what I'm saying, living on Troy Ave, you know what I'm saying? I used to go to Sunday school every, you know what I'm saying, Sunday with her, man, you know, and you know, it's been a part, it's been a intricate part of who I am now, you know, and me ultimately getting to the point of seeing what I uh what I now see in hindsight and say, damn, you know what I mean? Like,
But you always
now.
have manners and respect. It's just the way you will go about getting the manners and respect, or
Yeah, now, without a
aligning things
question.
was different.
Listen,
But it was always within
that's
those
what
principles.
and that's what I say about fam. You know what I mean? Like I say, homie, my canine teeth, they're in my gums. And at one point, it's like I think I use this analogy: a viper, a baby viper, and an adult viper, are two different, you know, have two different characteristics.
Yeah.
The baby's always gonna give off more venom. If the baby viper bites you, it's gonna be overkill, because they're gonna just dispense so much venom in you, because they haven't
They
got
hype
to
it.
that age. And
Yeah.
they haven't got to that age where they understand that all it takes is just that small little increment of or that small little part of venom to do you. The adult viper knows, you know, I hit you, bomb. You know what I'm saying? That's a little point, you done. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying, in the aspect of what I'm speaking on. So, you know, a lot of times it was overkill. A lot of things that I did was overdone, overdid, and it was to make points. You dig? And looking back and looking now, boy, you know, and this is what I, you know, if it's anything that I could offer, you know, boy, is like, yo, bro, like, you know, like, again, man, you don't have to act tough to be tough. You dig?
Come
Like,
on, Jimmy.
you know, that's it, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you know, I've gotten more, I've gotten more places and into more circumferences now that a person can literally look at me and say, damn, bro, you know, man, like
Well,
that energy
well,
don't even come. And
well,
one
I
thing
have to
about
say
energy,
this, Frankie. I think why that keeps going on is because you got all this shit that follows, son, from the True Life, from the Rucker, from Son and them doing this to this one doing.
well, a
It's like
stereotype is a stereotype, Nick. You
constantly.
can come from up under it. You dig? I got a lot of shit that
No, no, no,
follow me,
no,
a
no.
lot of
What I'm
bad.
saying, stuff's happened to you in life, but it ain't like you was always getting the short end of the stick, and kind of how Cam said, you be best friends with everybody that put hands on you. But now you mad at me? Like, what the fuck is going on, son? So I just think sometimes the tough shit comes
And
from
again,
a little bit of insecurity. That's what I leave it at.
yeah, well, that's what I had a question. I told you before that I believe it's narcissistic and insecurities, and then here it is that you try certain plays on certain people, like the play with Mendici that we heard,
Oh, factual.
or the play with Mano, and then when these people show you, like, yo, nigga, I'm really about this shit. I really gotta. Then now it's like, oh, you want to backpedal. So like I say about energy, man, you dig, you meet that energy, and it's like two lines are gonna do one or two things. They're gonna piss on that tree, mark their territory, and
Or they're
live with
gonna
the
fight to
pride
the
and take
death.
it, or they're gonna fight to the death, or at least what is to be the death,
Or
because
you'll
one of
get
them's
your
gonna leave
ass
hurt.
kicked and get out of here.
All right,
Yeah.
period. You dig? So again, man, like I said, man, you know, when a person is able to go, like, and you say, man, like I've been up and down, like I like pieces of people's lives, man. Dudes are starting to try to implore in their life. I said on Super Tribe, you know, you got dudes speaking about what they are and who they was. Come on, stop it. You wasn't that. You know it. I know it. I don't have to speak on them dudes. I wouldn't. But my thing is, what you're not gonna do is it's gonna take every aspect of what good men or women did do in their own right and try to just omit it and take a no, we don't do that.
Or
That's
write
not what
your
real people
own
do.
book the way you
Or write
want,
your
like
own book.
Frankie Boo
And I'm
say.
still living. I'm still living, and I'm not gonna say nothing. You crazy.
You out of your rabbit ass mind.
Dog, you do. So at the end of the day, because that was a representation of what I thoroughly represented at one point, which is being blood, it's like, come on, son, we not doing that. The boy said in his own little situation where we had heard it, heard it, is that there was 3 certain laws that you just didn't violate as whole lot. You understand?
Yeah.
I stood on that all the way. You know, and people like, you know what I'm saying? People like, like when it come, like a lot of the unsung, like my son Bloodsport, my son Paris Hitman,
Yeah, shout out to
good dudes.
Bloodsport.
Yeah, you dig, like, you know what I'm saying? That dudes don't know, like, yo, dudes really put it on when they was in that mindset of life. You dig? And I really put it on for that because that's what I did. I didn't fake about it. I wasn't trying to fake. I didn't want nobody doing something that I was faking about. A lot of individuals out here, they're faking. They're faking, and they got other individuals.
Frankie, what they do, all of a sudden they want to go get 40s. Fuck out of here. Yeah. And not come back. Well,
my point is this: they faking. And they got other little producers not knowing that they're very impressionable, and they're looking at this and they really believe that these individuals are like that.
Sorry,
and they're not. No, you good, bro. But yeah, that's it, homie. Don't like one thing I didn't do, bro. You dig? And again, because I can't think. It's crazy that I say, but I didn't fake, man. I didn't fake. I wasn't this. Like if I was in them streets, I was in them streets. This is what it was. This is what you're gonna know. This is what you're gonna do. You do something, my people coming for you. Yeah. If I didn't, that's what it is. You dig? I didn't do certain things and try to put out a certain facade or whatever the case may be, and then and not knowing or not knowing whether somebody was following me, or whatever. If a person like right now that could speak, regardless of where they from, whether it's Vanderbilt, whether it's Roosevelt, whether it's the Style, whether it's the Bronx, that know else, they're gonna say, yo, boy, one thing about that boy is that he ain't play. He ain't going for it. And guess what? He didn't, I didn't do this. Oh, I tuck this when I'm over here. When I'm over here, nah. And guess what? A lot of it might have just been old crazy old Frankie Boo. Maybe I didn't have enough sense to know that, guess what? I was placing myself in such a twisted situation that could have cost me my life. You understand what I'm saying? But guess what? I didn't care because in my mind and in my heart, if I felt that that's what was happening in that certain specific area or state, I'm going first. I better not get a clue. Not to say that it couldn't have happened, that I could have been totally off point. But my mindset already then was my head was on swivel. I thought I seen anything that could have potentially been a threat or so forth and so on. I was living that lifestyle, bro. And I was trying to be better at the lifestyle than the people that I was looking up in the lifestyle, knowing that guess what? They were in the lifestyle. They weren't faking. You wasn't telling me I wasn't going to trying to shoot somebody or stab somebody after looking at somebody who didn't do it themselves. Yeah. And nah. So that's something that I pride myself that even when we was doing the breaking the windows or whatever the case may be that we was doing, yo, bro, listen, homie, this is my lifestyle. Hands down.
Well, it was your lifestyle, gotcha.
But it was my lifestyle. You dig? As my son Touch says, that was a lifestyle. It wasn't that it was actually the person that I want. At that time.
Yeah, like I said earlier.
But that I didn't define me. Yeah, you dig? I'm not nefarious.
Environment.
There you go, bro. So again, man, I think bro got a lot of growing up to do. You dig? As I said before, you dig? I'm only basing it off of what my experiences is. That shit don't look good. And you know what I'm saying? In the midst of all, I don't know no real official tissue, and I done spoke to a few of them, and they saying, "Yo, Evan, nigga, you ain't stupid. You know what that shit is."
Yeah.
So yeah, this is on behalf of official tissues who never had issues that like the issue that I've had to deal with or that he's dealing with now in his form of Rico's, but official street dudes who say, "What?
Scratching their head like, what the fuck?"
And they ain't even scratching their head. The decision has already been made. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah. They know now.
They're not gonna convey it, but they're like, yo, boy, that's suspect. Even if it's you dig what? I don't want nothing to do with that boy.
And like I said earlier,
so that's what it is.
Anybody fucking with your family, anybody fucking with your actual representation and livelihood, they need to get checked immediately. Now you talking about, yo, your girlfriend's ugly, or yo, this nigga roll whack blunts. Franky Boo don't know how to roll. I don't give a fuck. Talk whatever you. But it's certain things once you start fucking with them 3 trilogy point. Nah, we got to address this, and you got to get knocked out the box.
I just wanted, man, you know, whether it's even a boy that's going to go eagerly back to saying that his brother's in situations and his brother's girl was a part of this, that, and third. Yo, look, there's levels to this shit, man. He know it, I know it. You dig? And for him to say that he did 20 some odd years, like, come on, whether it was, I don't know whether it was state or whether it was fed. Like I said, I don't know the brother.
Both said they
Right,
never
well, in the feds is totally different. So he has no room to express his sentiments.
But he was expressing on behalf of his brother who was in the feds and his family members who are in the feds.
Well, my thing is this, just like now, here you go. Let's keep this 100, because then guess what? Vertical Talk is getting ready to sign off. You dig?
Let's do it,
like
son.
The lawyer said, bro, and this is a word from a person who have law degrees and have dealt with a number of cases.
Criminal cases.
Quote, criminal cases along the lines of what he heard pertaining to Jimmy Jones. And he gave his general perspective of clarity concerning that. And it mirrored the same thing that yours truly, Vertical Talk 101, Franky Boo, said. It doesn't look right at no corner of that square.
Should we leave the people with that little drum before we get out of here in case they forgot?
Yo, listen, bro. It started at the beginning. So now with this being the ending, they can always go back and it show whether they're really concerned about what he did or what he said or what that lawyer said. You dig? They're both in here. In this episode, both of those, what Jim said and what that lawyer said. And again,
I'm just thinking about it for the live stream, because some people are going to be in the live stream, and live streams tune in at different times. So just if they might catch the last 10 minutes and be like, oh, what they talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Well, yo, guess what? You know this world a little better than I do. So if you feel that that's something that will educate the people or entice the people and to come to Vertical Talk and hear the shit that we're giving up on a regular when they see us up here, do what you do, Unc.
But I also want you to sign off and say your final piece in you know what I mean?
Yo, man, again, you know, as always will be, man. My praise is to the Most High. Thank you, Father God. To my brothers and sisters still in them walls, you did continue your struggle, continue your fight, man, to get on the outside of those walls. To my comrades out here, man, you dig what I'm saying? You know, everybody who's, you know, has given me a hand up, man, you know what I'm saying? Salutes, man. You know what I'm saying? And though you may not hear from me or whatever the case may be, listen, I'm working on self. I'm doing something that I ain't never did in my life, which is working a honest 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? I'm pulling 12-hour shifts, you dig? And I'm enjoying it. So I'm letting my little brothers and sisters know. Hear this from a once upon a time street dude who still knows and understands the elements of the street and what exists out there, so I can be a blessing in some way to you, if only you would listen to somebody that is certified in these streets, certified by these streets. These streets ain't what you think they are. So listen, now that I'm showing or I'm telling you better, you can do better. So yo, just take time to love yourself more than you love the person that you may be looking up to, because you may find out that in the very near future, the person that you looked up to didn't look at you the same way that you were looking at them.
And that shit gonna break your fucking heart. Save yourself the anguish.
If not break your heart, it's gonna break your back inside them prison walls, or literally because you're gonna be 6 feet under. You dig? And one thing
you're gonna be regretting it in some fashion.
Word. And I'd rather be here able to give flowers still, as opposed to underground pushing up flowers. With that, man, this is your boy, Franky Boo, man. Original, official, Brooklyn alumni, man. Stand up. Vertical Talk.
And it's Uncle Nick, the co-host, you know what I'm saying, signing out, you know what I'm saying? And I want to give a big shout out to Harlem Legend and China Brim for going in, doing they went through, and providing this amazing content, because y'all brothers are doing y'all I should say y'all best. Y'all putting y'all best foot forward to really address the situation, keep the people informed, but keep the people entertained. Shout out to the Super Trife Low Live. Shout out to the Session TV. Shout out to the whole team. Everybody getting down for the come up. Make sure you tune in with my channel if you like. You know what I'm saying? Check me out, Uncle Nick TV.
Big facts.
But you know where to find me all the time over here with Franky Boo Vertical Talk. The situation is beautiful. But on that note, you know, I'm gonna jump back into what the lawyer has to say, and we're gonna leave him there.
Yeah, one thing. Ja Ace, man. I got your salutes, man. So salutes to the boy Ja Ace, man. You heard? No
Salute
doubt.
the son. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and go fuck with him. You heard me?
Yeah, and likewise, man. Come back, salute, subscribe, comment. You dig what I'm saying? And hit that like button, man. This Franky
And
Boo,
you
man.
can hit that
Vertical
Cash
Talk.
App too, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, without a question. That only makes our platform better, man. So yo, this is what it is, man. We out until the next time, man. Be blessed and stay true to yourself. You heard? Vertical Talk 101.
All right, let's end it with the lawyer, son. We out of here.
Everyone has heard the tapes, the wiretaps, and you guys all wonder, okay, well, why isn't this guy a part of an indictment? Or why hasn't this guy been picked up, whatnot? So I will say this, right? Again, not focusing purely on Jimmy Jones, but I'm going to say this. Just imagine this. Imagine you are, you know, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and you have an informant, and your informant is actually working, let's say, 5 cases.
Okay.
He's working 5 cases. He's working 5 different cases. And although he's working 5 cases, the 6-9 case happens to be one of the cases. So now he's working the cases, and then next thing you know, you as the sworn FBI agent, you guys get a call where you see that your target / informant, the guy 6'9", is in jeopardy. You guys intercept the wiretap call where the guy's in jeopardy. So you guys can't let that case just linger on. You can't let the 6'9" guy just stay out because he's in jeopardy. So God forbid if something happens to him and he perishes and, you know, it comes to fruition that you guys heard this tape, you guys knew that he was in danger on the wiretap and you didn't take him off the street, then you're going to be held accountable for that.
Wow.
Exactly. So what happens is, let's say they weren't actually ready to bring the 6'9" case to a closing, but when they heard those adamant threats over the phone, they had to bring him off the street. So they sweep him up.
So they had they had to pick 6'9" up regardless due to the fact he was being threatened. That's what you said.
Exactly. They had to because, I mean, they couldn't run the risk of...